20 reasons why some royal family members are so arrogant. The British royal family is one of the most famous and influential families in the world. But while they may seem perfect, some believe that they're quite arrogant. In this video, we'll take a look at 20 reasons why some royal family members might be considered arrogant. From their privileged upbringing to their sense of entitlement, we'll explore all the reasons why some people think the royals are a bit too full of themselves. So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn 20 reasons why some royal family members are arrogant. Number 1. Privilege and entitlement. We all know that being born into a life of privilege can sometimes create a sense of entitlement. But how does this impact royal family members and their reputation? Royal family members are born into a world that most of us can only dream of. They have access to immense wealth, luxurious lifestyles, and opportunities that the majority of people can only imagine. While this may seem like a dream come true, it can also have unintended consequences. Growing up surrounded by opulence and never having to worry about financial struggles can shape one's perspective on life. It's only natural for individuals in such circumstances to develop a sense of entitlement. After all, when everything's handed to you on a silver platter, it can be challenging to fully grasp the challenges and hardships faced by ordinary people. The disconnect from the realities of everyday life can lead to a perception of arrogance. When royal family members have never experienced the struggles of paying bills, finding employment, or making ends meet, it becomes difficult for them to empathize with the struggles of ordinary citizens. This lack of understanding can inadvertently come across as arrogance to the public. Number 2. Lack of exposure to different lifestyles. Living in a bubble of luxury might make it challenging for royal family members to fully understand the struggles and realities of ordinary people. Is this lack of exposure contributing to their perceived arrogance? Living a life of privilege often shields royal family members from the day-to-day hardships and challenges that ordinary people face. Their opulent surroundings, exclusive events, and dedicated staff create a cocoon of comfort that can inadvertently isolate them from the realities of the outside world. Without first-hand experience or exposure to different lifestyles, it becomes difficult for them to empathize with the struggles of ordinary people. This lack of exposure can contribute to a perceived arrogance because royal family members may unknowingly appear disconnected or oblivious to the issues that impact the lives of the general public. When they're unable to relate to the everyday experiences, concerns, and aspirations of ordinary citizens, it can create a sense of distance and superiority. Number 3. Media portrayal. The media often portrays royal family members in a certain light, and this can contribute to perceptions of arrogance, whether it reflects their true personality or not. The media plays a significant role in shaping public perception, and when it comes to the royal family members, this influence is magnified. Headlines, tabloids, and paparazzi coverage often focus on extravagant lifestyles, extravagant events, and occasional controversies surrounding royals. These portrayals can create an image of arrogance that may or may not align with the true nature of the individuals involved. The constant scrutiny and sensationalized stories can distort the public's perception, blurring the lines between reality and media narratives. While some members of the royal family may indeed exhibit arrogance at times, it is essential to remember that they're human beings and have individual personalities, vulnerabilities, and complexities. The media's selective portrayal can amplify certain traits while neglecting others, ultimately shaping how the public perceives these individuals. Number 4. The concept of divine right. Throughout history, many royal families believed in their divine right to rule. This belief system, rooted in religious and cultural traditions, positioned them as chosen by a higher power to govern. While the concept of divine right may have waned in contemporary society, its influence on perceptions of arrogance remains. The notion that one is inherently superior and destined to rule can inadvertently create an air of entitlement and superiority. This historical belief system has left an indelible mark on the perception of royal family members, with some perceiving their actions and attitudes as stemming from a sense of innate superiority. However, it's important to acknowledge that not all members of royal families endorse or embody this belief. Nevertheless, the legacy of divine right continues to shape public opinions, contributing to the perception of arrogance among some royal family members. Number 5. Power dynamics. With power and authority comes the risk of being misinterpreted as arrogant. How does this dynamic affect royal family members? In the world of royalty, power is an inherent aspect of their lives. Royal family members are born into positions of authority, wielding influence and making decisions that impact not only their own lives, but also the lives of their subjects. However, this power dynamic can be a double-edged sword when it comes to public perception. The inherent authority that comes with being a member of the royal family can be easily misinterpreted as arrogance. When making decisions or issuing commands, their confidence and assertiveness may inadvertently come across as a sense of entitlement or superiority. The weight of their words and actions carries a certain gravitas, which can be perceived as haughty or dismissive by those outside the royal circle. Moreover, the privileges and luxuries associated with royalty can create a sense of detachment from the everyday struggles of ordinary people. This detachment, combined with the power they wield, can fuel perception that royal family members are out of touch with reality and indifferent to the concerns of the general public. Number 6. Upholding tradition. Royal families are bound by centuries-old traditions and protocols. But does this adherence to tradition sometimes come across as arrogance? Upholding tradition is a fundamental aspect of royal families, representing their cultural heritage and maintaining a sense of continuity. However, strict adherence to these customs can inadvertently create a perception of arrogance. The elaborate ceremonies, rigid protocols, and extravagant displays of wealth associated with royal traditions might seem excessive to outsiders. When royal family members prioritize tradition over modernization, it can be interpreted as a refusal to adapt or connect with the changing world. This perceived inflexibility can reinforce the perception of arrogance, as it suggests a sense of superiority and an unwillingness to evolve with the times. Besides, the exclusivity of these traditions can create a divide between the royal family and the general public. As ordinary citizens struggle with daily challenges, the ostentatious display of wealth and privilege during royal ceremonies might be seen as disconnected and arrogant. Number 7. Limited public interaction. Royal family members usually have limited, controlled interactions with the general public, which could be interpreted as arrogance. Limited public interaction is a crucial factor contributing to the perception of arrogance among royal family members. Being surrounded by security and protocol, their interactions with the general public are often controlled and orchestrated. While this is done to ensure their safety and maintain decorum, it can unintentionally create a barrier between them and the public. When royal family members have limited exposure to everyday people and their struggles, it becomes challenging for them to develop a genuine understanding and empathy. This lack of authentic connection may be perceived as aloofness or arrogance. The public desires relatability and approachability from their leaders, and when these qualities are lacking, assumptions of arrogance can arise. Number 8. Upbringing. Etiquette and decorum are instilled in royal family members from a young age. But does this upbringing make them appear stiff or arrogant to outsiders? Royal family members are raised in a world where strict protocols and proper etiquette reign supreme. From a young age, they're groomed to fulfill their roles with grace and sophistication. However, this emphasis on refined behavior can sometimes create the perception of stiffness or arrogance. The rigorous training in manners and decorum becomes deeply ingrained in their upbringing, shaping their every move and word. They're taught to exude an air of dignity and composure, which can be misconstrued as aloofness or superiority by those outside the royal circle. Additionally, the formality of their interactions, language, and body language further contribute to the perception of arrogance. Their reserved nature and adherence to traditional customs may distance them from the general public, making it harder for people to relate to them on a personal level. Number 9. Self-preservation. Sometimes what's perceived as arrogance might be a defense mechanism to protect oneself from intense public scrutiny. Royal family members are constantly under the spotlight with their every move dissected and criticized by the media and the public. This constant scrutiny can lead to a heightened sense of self-preservation. To shield themselves from the invasive nature of public attention, some royal family members may adopt a more guarded and distant demeanor, which can be interpreted as arrogance. This defensive mechanism helps them maintain a sense of privacy and control over their personal lives, shielding them from the prying eyes of the world. While this self-preservation strategy may seem arrogant to outsiders, it's important to recognize the immense pressure and scrutiny that comes with being a member of the royal family. Their actions are constantly scrutinized, and any misstep can be amplified and sensationalized. As a result, some individuals may develop a protective shield to guard their emotions and maintain a semblance of control in the face of intense public judgment. Number 10. Confidence misinterpreted. Confidence is crucial for fulfilling royal roles, but it can sometimes be mistaken for arrogance. Royal family members are expected to exude self-assurance and composure in their public appearances and engagements. However, this confidence can be misinterpreted by outsiders who may perceive it as an attitude of superiority or entitlement. The fine line between confidence and arrogance can often blur, leading to misunderstandings and negative judgments. It's important to recognize that the demanding nature of their roles necessitates a certain level of self-assuredness, and we should be cautious not to jump to conclusions based solely on external appearances. Understanding the distinction between confidence and arrogance is crucial in accurately assessing royal family members and their intentions. Number 11. Cultural differences. What may be seen as arrogance in one culture could be seen as normal behavior in another. Cultural perspectives play a significant role in shaping our perceptions. In some cultures, displays of wealth and authority are expected from royalty, and thus they may not be perceived as arrogant. However, in cultures that value humility and egalitarianism, such behavior may be interpreted differently. These contrasting viewpoints create a fascinating dynamic where the same actions can be interpreted in various ways. It's crucial to recognize and respect cultural differences when discussing the perceived arrogance of royal family members, as our cultural lens may influence our judgment. Number 12. Historical bias. When it comes to royal families, history plays a significant role in shaping public perceptions. The actions and behaviors of previous generations of royalty can create a lasting bias that influences how we view current members. Scandals, controversies, and even infamous rulers from the past can taint the reputation of an entire lineage. For example, if a previous royal member was known for their extravagance or abuse of power, it can lead to a generalization that all members of that family exhibit similar characteristics. Historical events become part of the collective memory, and negative perceptions associated with certain actions or individuals are difficult to shake off. Additionally, the media often highlights these historical events, perpetuating the bias and reinforcing negative perceptions. It becomes challenging for current royal family members to escape the shadows cast by their ancestors, even if they have no personal involvement in past controversies. Number 13. Perception of wealth. The perception of wealth plays a significant role in how royal family members are viewed by the public, and it often contributes to the notion of arrogance. The opulence associated with royalty can create a stark contrast between the privileged lives of royal family members and the struggles faced by ordinary people. When lavish palaces, extravagant events, and luxurious lifestyles are showcased, it can be challenging for the public to relate to such abundance. As a result, some individuals may interpret this display of wealth as a form of arrogance, believing that royal family members are detached from the realities of everyday life. The extravagant image projected by the royal family can reinforce the perception that they're out of touch with the common people and further solidify the notion of arrogance. Number 14. Influence of advisors. Royal family members often have advisors who help shape their public image. These advisors, whether intentionally or not, can contribute to the perception of arrogance. The influence of advisors plays a crucial role in how royal family members are perceived by the public. These advisors, who are responsible for managing their image and reputation, often guide them in their public engagements, speeches, and appearances. While they intend to present the royals in the best possible light, there's a fine line between projecting confidence and appearing arrogant. Sometimes the advice given by these advisors may prioritize maintaining a regal and authoritative image, inadvertently fostering an air of superiority that can be misinterpreted as arrogance. The language used, the demeanor displayed, and even the choice of engagements can inadvertently contribute to the perception of arrogance. Number 15. Secrecy. The privacy and secrecy that often surrounds royal families can contribute to a perception of arrogance. Maintaining a certain level of privacy is essential for individuals in the public eye, but when it comes to the royal families, this secrecy can be magnified. The limited access to their personal lives and decision-making processes can create a sense of detachment from the public. Without transparency, people may assume the royal family members have something to hide, or that they consider themselves above scrutiny. The lack of insight into their daily lives and decision-making can foster a sense of exclusivity and disconnect from the realities faced by ordinary people. This perception of secrecy can lead to the belief that royal family members are unrelatable and unaccountable, reinforcing the notion of arrogance. Number 16. Lack of accountability. Because of their status, members of the royal family are often perceived as being above the law or not held to the same standards as ordinary citizens, leading to a perception of arrogance. The perception of royal family members as being above the law or unaccountable can contribute to the perception of arrogance. Due to their privileged position, they may be shielded from the consequences of their actions or face lenient treatment when compared to the general public. This perceived lack of accountability can stem from legal privileges, diplomatic immunity, or historical traditions that grant them exemptions. The media and public scrutiny often highlight instances where royal family members seem to escape accountability, creating a sense of resentment among ordinary citizens. Whether it's alleged wrongdoing or a controversial decision, the perception of special treatment can foster the belief that royal family members consider themselves untouchable. Number 17. Legacy and lineage. Upholding a legacy or lineage can sometimes be viewed as arrogance. When a royal family member carries the weight of centuries-old legacy or lineage, it can inadvertently create the perception of arrogance. The expectations to preserve and honor a family's rich history can be daunting, often requiring individuals to embody a sense of regal confidence. However, this display of pride and confidence can sometimes be misinterpreted as arrogance by outsiders. The pressure to live up to the achievements and reputation of ancestors adds an extra layer of scrutiny. The public's high expectations, coupled with the notion of inherited privilege, can create a perception that the royal family members believe themselves to be inherently superior. This perception may overshadow the individual's personal qualities, character, and intentions. Besides, the idea of maintaining a lineage can create a sense of entitlement, reinforcing the belief that certain privileges and positions are deserved simply by birthright. This can fuel the perception of arrogance, as the actions and decisions of royal family members may be viewed through the lens of their privileged heritage rather than their merits. Number 18. Isolation from criticism. Royalty often enjoys insulation from direct criticism. This isolation can contribute to the perception of arrogance. When shielded from everyday realities and struggles faced by ordinary people, it becomes challenging for royal family members to grasp the true impact of their actions and decisions. Without the constant feedback and constructive criticism that most individuals receive, there's a risk of losing touch with the concerns and needs of the public. This lack of direct criticism can create an environment where arrogance may thrive, as there's no immediate accountability or opportunity for self-reflection. The absence of checks and balances may perpetuate a sense of entitlement and reinforce the belief that their status places them above reach. Consequently, this isolation can foster an image of detachment and superiority, further fueling the perception of arrogance among some royal family members. Number 19. Public expectations. The pressure to be perfect and live up to high public expectations can sometimes be misconstrued as arrogance. How does this external pressure influence the perception of royal family members? Living under the constant scrutiny of the public eye comes with immense pressure and sky-high expectations. Royal family members are expected to embody grace, elegance, and flawless conduct at all times. However, this unrelenting spotlight can inadvertently contribute to the perception of arrogance. Every move they make is closely watched, analyzed, and often criticized. The public expects them to be faultless and infallible, which can create a sense of distance and detachment. Any misstep, whether real or perceived, is magnified and can be easily interpreted as arrogance. The need to represent themselves as composed and regal in public settings can sometimes be misconstrued as a lack of warmth or aloofness. Their guarded behavior may simply be a result of the overwhelming pressure to meet those unrealistic expectations. Number 20. Language and demeanor. The formal language and demeanor expected of royals can sometimes come off as cold or aloof, leading to the interpretation of arrogance. The regal bearing and refined speech patterns that royal family members exhibit are ingrained in their upbringing. While these traits are intended to convey dignity and grace, they can inadvertently create a barrier between them and the public. The use of formal language and adherence to strict protocols may be seen as distant or unapproachable, contributing to the perception of arrogance. Now we'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with our reasons? Did we miss any important points? Leave your valuable insights in the comment section below. We greatly appreciate your engagement and look forward to reading your opinions. If you found this video informative and thought-provoking, don't forget to hit that like button and share it with your friends who might be interested in the royal family dynamics. And if you haven't already, we invite you to subscribe to our channel to stay updated on all the latest videos exploring various captivating topics. Thank you for watching.